Available now. Link below.
In a world where political persecution runs rampant, a beacon of hope emerges from the shadows. Former President Donald Trump, a man whose only crime was being different, stands tall amidst the maelstrom of biased allegations. As the gavel of justice teeters on the scales, Judge Aileen Cannon's jury instructions in Jack Smith's classified documents case have sent shockwaves through the leftist cabal. They accuse her of stacking the deck in favor of Trump, but the reality is far more sinister. The left's fear is palpable, their agenda clear: to bury the truth under an avalanche of misguided judgments and convoluted interpretations of the law. But as the fog of confusion clears, a gust of truth blows away their carefully crafted narrative. In this special report, we'll peel back the layers of deception and expose the left's desperate attempts to silence a man owed retribution. Now, folks, before we dive into our special report, a quick note: just like the political persecution that Trump faces, many Americans are grappling with the relentless assault of rising energy costs. Power companies have amassed a staggering $13 million in uncollected bills, yet the costs continue to soar. But there is a glimmer of hope. This compact energy-saving device, this little guy right here, is helping tens of thousands slash their power bills and beat the greedy utility companies at their own game. It's like a secret weapon in the fight against unjust charges, much like the truth is to Trump's innocence. You can experience the incredible cost savings that this device offers at an exclusive 65% off by visiting don'twastepower.com. That's don'twastepower.com. So as the political landscape continues to shift, a reminder of the ongoing battle between truth and persecution emerges. Donald Trump, a man who dared to challenge the status quo, finds himself once again at the center of a firestorm. The latest development in the saga comes in the form of Judge Aileen Cannon's jury instructions in Jack Smith's classified documents case. Now, these instructions have sent the left into a frenzy as they desperately cling to their narrative of Trump's guilt. But what is the truth behind the accusations? Well, to understand the full scope of the situation, we first must examine the context in which it arose. Trump, having exercised his rights under the Presidential Records Act, now faces a barrage of biased litigation. The left, in their relentless pursuit of power, has weaponized the law against him, twisting its intent to fit their own agenda. Now let's take a look.
But she wants special counsel Jack Smith and Donald Trump's lawyers to use these hypotheticals now to craft potential jury instructions, despite the fact that Judge Aileen Cannon previously even rejected special counsel Jack Smith's request to set this trial for July, and she seemed to lean towards what Donald Trump was requesting, to set this trial for sometime in 2025. Let's just go through this order. Let's break it down. Let me show you what I think she's doing here. Order requiring preliminary proposed jury instructions and verdict forms on counts 1 through 32 only. And counts 1 through 32 involve violations of 18 U.S.C. Section 793 against Donald Trump. This is for the willful retention of national defense information. And one of the arguments Donald Trump had previously made is that 18 U.S.C. Section 793 is unconstitutionally vague. The statute that was put into law in 1917, Trump argues, is unconstitutionally vague. And previously, Judge Cannon ruled that without prejudice, she was going to reject Donald Trump's claim without prejudice, but thinks he raises really good points that she wants to bring up in the future with jury instructions. And that's what she said last week. So now she's talking about jury instructions, because one of the other things that Donald Trump argued, and he had Stephen Miller file an amicus brief or a friend of the court brief, is arguing that under the Presidential Records Act, that Donald Trump would be permitted to classify on his own.
Now, Judge Cannon's jury instructions offer a glimmer of hope in the otherwise bleak landscape. By presenting two options for the jury to consider, she's effectively thrown a wrench in the left's carefully orchestrated plan. The first option allows the jury to examine the records in question and determine beyond a reasonable doubt whether they are personal or presidential in nature. This is a crucial distinction as it strikes at the heart of the left's argument. The second option is even more devastating to their case. It states that a president has sole authority under the Presidential Records Act to categorize records as personal or presidential during their tenure. This means that neither a court nor a jury has the power to second-guess or overturn a president's decision in this matter. It's a clear affirmation of the authority granted to the office of the president and a resounding blow to those who would seek to undermine it. The left, predictably, has reacted with outrage and disbelief. CNN legal analyst Norm Eisen, in his stunning display of partisan hackery, accused Judge Cannon of attempting to stack the deck in Trump's favor. Now, this baseless accusation is a testament to the left's desperation as they see their carefully crafted narrative crumbling before their very eyes. MSNBC's legal reporter Jordan Rubin echoed Eisen's statements, claiming that Judge Cannon's instructions could effectively win Trump's case for him. Now, this statement is a tacit admission of the weakness of their own argument. If the mere application of the law is enough to exonerate Trump, then perhaps the problem lies not with the judge, but with the case itself. The truth is that Trump has been the victim of a sustained campaign of political persecution. From the moment he announced his candidacy, the left has been determined to destroy him by any means necessary. They've used every tool at their disposal, from the media to the courts, to paint him as a villain and a threat to democracy. But the American people aren't fooled. They see through the lies and the propaganda, and they recognize Trump for what he is, a man who has devoted his life to serving this country. He's faced down the establishment, challenged the status quo, and fought for the forgotten men and women of America. So now, as he faces this latest challenge, Trump remains unbowed. He knows that the truth's on his side, and he will not be silenced by the left's baseless accusations. He will continue to fight for the American people, and he will emerge from this ordeal stronger than ever. As for Judge Cannon, she deserves our gratitude and respect. In a time when the rule of law is under attack from all sides, she stood firm in her commitment to justice. She's refused to be swayed by the mob, and she's upheld the principles that make our nation great. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. As we've seen throughout this report, the left's attempts to persecute Donald Trump are not rooted in a desire for justice, but rather in a desperate bid to maintain their grip on power. They fear what he represents, a challenge to the status quo, a voice for the voiceless, and a champion of the American spirit. But as Judge Cannon's jury instructions have shown, the truth will not be suppressed forever. The gavel of justice will ultimately shatter the distorted lens through which the left views Trump, revealing him for what he truly is, a man innocent of the crimes which he's been charged. It's time for our nation to come together, to reflect and reject on the politics of division and hatred, and to embrace the values that have made America great. Only then can we hope to heal the wounds of the past and build a brighter future for all of us.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.